unlocks Captain Picard's hidden emotions. Will Picard sacrifice peace for passion? Captain Picard's holiday becomes a romantic adventure.
Hey, it's JEAN-LUC'S, and the ladies love them some Captain Picard. I mean, a guy with his own ship, his own crew, and he's cultured? No wonder the ladies love them 180 pounds of pure British croissant.
Coffee and croissant. That's all you really want, isn't it?
Sure, number one might have a woman at every spaceport, but the more sophisticated ladies find themselves attracted to that proud, respectable bald head with a seemingly ageless face, giving orders from his captain's chair in that soothing voice, like a siren to all the ladies in space. And he even quotes Shakespeare.
In faith, I do not love thee with mine eyes.
So let's look at Jean-Luc and the Lady Lucs he surrounds himself with every couple of seasons. Ladies, he's Jean-Luc Picard, the hunk with the chrome dome, the cup of tea, Earl Grey hotter, and the intergalactic man of mystery. Even back when Riker was still in diapers, Jean-Luc was rather lucky with the ladies as the world's oldest cadet. Okay, to be fair, this was a quantum leap situation, and she thought she was seeing a younger Picard. And it all might have been an elaborate dream anyways.
Was it a dream? Or was it one of Q's elaborate tricks?
But before he became the captain of the Enterprise, Jean-Luc had a little thing going with one sexy mama. Specifically, Michelle Phillips from the Mamas and the Papas as his long-lost love, Jenice. Wait, that's your ex, Picard?
Damn.
But of all the starships and all the star bases and all the quadrant, Jenice beamed onto his in We'll Always Have Paris. No, not that Paris. The Paris that Picard likes to recreate on the holodeck and eavesdrop on conversations.
You are making a fool out of yourself, and I will not watch.
And it turns out that years ago, right before he shipped out, Jean-Luc stood Jenice up. Wait, you stood up her? Damn, Jean-Luc, are you blind?
I got the days confused. I thought it was Tuesday when it was Wednesday.
It won't be installed until Tuesday.
All because he was afraid of commitment. Well, commitment to anyone but Starfleet. So Picard got his starship, and poor Jenice got this guy. Old Man Mannheim, obsessed with bending time to create multiple datas and multiple dimensions. And in all those dimensions, full Picard embarrassment.
I waited all day. And it was raining.
It was raining in the city by the bay. A hard rain.
Oh yeah, and the entire ship had front row seats for this awkward reunion. Even a certain dancing doctor.
I can't compete with a ghost from his past.
Oh, that's rich, Beverly!
Just dinna light that candle.
Why not?
It'll bring the ghost.
But with old Mannheim out of danger and Jenice by his side, Jean-Luc is a free man.
Jean-Luc, what naughty thoughts. But how wonderful you still think of me like that.
Yep, it's not easy being a
Damn sexy man.
especially when your counselor's mother pops in when she's, on the prowl. Which seems to affect all older Betazoid women.
Never told me that.
I didn't want to frighten you.
Yep, that Betazoid menopause. Emphasis on men. But private, sexy dinners for two and eyeing his legs? Jean-Luc is having none of it and would rather almost get blown away on the holodeck. Although she did give him an excuse to rescue her by quoting Shakespeare, the true way to his heart.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?
I just love to hear more of your poetry.
On second thought.
There's an excellent chance that my mother may be joining us on Starbase 12.
Oh, hell no! Better get his ass to Risa, where the ladies will surely leave him alone. Everywhere he goes, he's fighting them off with a stick. Especially with that Picard thigh.
I wasn't aware you had such handsome legs.
But Jean-Luc trades fun in the sun for some mischief after dark with an archaeological adventure with Vash, the sexy adventurer. I mean, it worked for Indiana Jones.
I learned to hate you in the last 10 years.
But while Jean-Luc isn't into archaeology for fortune and glory, Vash most certainly is.
5 years is a huge investment, Jean-Luc. You deserve to make a reasonable profit.
Yeah, she's probably a little too Nathan Drake for him. But hey, what happens on Risa stays on Risa, am I right?
I am surprised he didn't mention you.
That vacation must have been better than he let on.
You mean he never mentioned me to you either? And he never spoke to you about me? Why have you never mentioned me to your friends?
Oh yes, why would the prim and proper Picard brag about his history honey to his co-workers?
I wish I had a chance to know that Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah, I bet you would! But nothing like a little Robin Hood adventure with the crew to get Vash to run off with Q so he could treat her like crap on DS9.
Now, who can resist an offer like that?
But even straight up royalty can't resist the lure of that Picard cranium. If I touch his scalp, I will have good luck forever. Yes, Jean Grey, the mutant, falls in love with Professor X. Oh, I'm sorry, Kamala the metamorph.
A mutant.
Falls in love with Picard despite the fact that she's supposed to marry Chancellor Carrot Top.
Say big box in every clause.
And all the fellows on board are absolutely wild for her. Well, except Data. But the metamorph who can become any man's perfect woman has only eyes for that steamy cup of tea Earl Grey hot.
I'm really quite dull.
They're even on the same intellectual level, and she wants to spend the night before her wedding just talking to him. Yes, just talking.
I love the sound of your voice.
Well, to be fair, that voice is soothing. Wait until you hear it quote Shakespeare.
What a piece of work is man. How noble in reason.
But the episodic show must go on. Not to mention the wedding, so it's back to the status quo with a very single Picard. But if music be the food of love, play on, because now Jean-Luc's got a little music buddy who likes to keep him from his Earl Grey at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Earl Grey? No wonder you can't sleep. Give me a cup of Daren herbal tea blend number 3.
Okay, I have to address this. She's correct. Look, I love a cup of Earl Grey myself, but it's a black tea and therefore it's high in caffeine. Not exactly great for 3 a.m. Now, herbal teas, which technically aren't tea, generally don't have caffeine, though there are some exceptions to the rule. They can help you fall asleep, which is why you see a lot of people drinking chamomile right before bed. I have a couple of issues with Nella Daren, but she is correct that Picard shouldn't be drinking Earl Grey at this time of night. Who does he think he is, Captain Janeway?
Listen to me very carefully, because I'm only going to say this once. Coffee. Black.
So Nella Daren transferred on board the Enterprise, became close to Picard over their shared love of music, which Picard acquired when he was in a coma for 30 minutes and had a wife, kids, and a budding flute career. And it wasn't long before the two of them were going steady. And then Nella Daren tries to transfer people to her department without Riker's knowledge.
Commander, do you realize the position you're putting me in?
What, you mean looking for another job because you told the captain's girlfriend no?
I'm beginning to feel uncomfortable with her requests.
Because of her relationship with me?
Yes, sir.
I mean, maybe she would have done that regardless of her relationship status, but you just transferred on board the ship, lady! But don't worry, the relationship doesn't last long because Picard had to send her on a dangerous mission that she survived, and it was too much for the both of them.
You could always resign your commission. Stay here with me.
And you could resign yours and come to a star base with me.
I mean, let's face it, a one-time guest star goes on a dangerous mission, there is a good chance she wasn't coming back. And of course, Jean-Luc always had a thing for the older ladies, like the movie where he dated an old woman.
I should warn you, I've always been attracted to older women.
To be fair, she does look good for 300.
You don't look it.
Thank you.
But outlasting all of them is the Dancing Doctor. The one he's known the longest out of his crew. The one who was once married to his best friend. The one whose son seems to be the only kid he tolerates. I'm sure for absolutely no reason. Wes, watch your hairline.
Might have made a good father.
Now, while Beverly never really got together with Jean-Luc, at least not in this timeline, there was always something hinted at between the two of them. Little looks, those breakfasts they share, that secret Beverly never told him.
Then there must be a lot of things about you that I don't know.
Quite a few. There are some things I want to tell you, in case we don't get out of this. For quite some time, I've been meaning to say something to you. Jean-Luc, you and I.
And then it turns out that Picard was attracted to her for a long time, even while Jack was still alive.
But although
I would never act on it.
Oh yeah? Then explain Wesley! Actually, I covered this theory in another video a while ago. Check it out. Ironically, while Beverly might not have been an official love interest, she was probably the longest lasting one, knowing the reserved captain best and outlasting every other official love interest.
Perhaps I just needed a shoulder.
Well, it's there for you, Jean-Luc. It always has been.
And I'll be here long after she's gone. Now, in Star Trek, there's always a question about whether or not a captain should have a love interest, and things only get muddied when the love interest happens to be a subordinate. Looking at you, Janeway. Picard is certainly no exception. Underneath that prim and proper exterior, he's human and certainly has romantic feelings, but his love interests ultimately prove unattainable, and a long-term relationship never seems to work out. His career came first, they could never be together, Vash was too spicy. And even with someone in his crew, it wasn't that Starfleet forbid it per se, but there were complications that neither one of them was ready for. Even with someone like Beverly, who he's known for years, he had reservations because she was married to his best friend. Again, I covered that in another video. While it's probably because of TNG's episodic format that discourages long-term relationships that Picard never had a lasting romance, it's not entirely out of his character for him either. At the end of the day, he was a career officer, not unlike Captain Kirk or Captain Janeway, much to everyone's chagrin. Even though he has the occasional regret, and the ladies do love them some Captain Picard, his duty is ultimately to his ship. No, not that ship. But that's all I have about Picard and his romances. Now, what about you? What's your take on how Picard handles romances? Who's your favorite love interest? Should he have settled down and maybe started up a family, maybe even on the Enterprise? And what are some of your favorite romances in Star Trek? Please leave comments below and discuss. As always, thanks for tuning in to another Star Trek video. If you like what you see, why not give my video a like and subscribe to my channel? Tell your friends! Until next time...
I'd just love to hear more of your poetry.